Hey everyone, welcome back to Widget Wisdom. Today we are diving deep into one of the core concepts of Flutter, the widget tree. Understanding the widget tree is key to mastering Flutter UI development. We will explore how widgets are structured, how to manage complex layouts, and hierarchy within Flutter apps. In today's video, we will cover what is a widget tree, parent-child relationship between widgets, practical examples of creating complex UIs, and if you're enjoying the content and want to support the channel, consider joining our Patreon for exclusive perks or becoming a member on YouTube. Your support helps us continuing creating high quality Flutter tutorials and more. So first, let's talk about what is a widget tree. So every Flutter app is built around widgets, but the widget tree structures how these widgets relate to each other. Think of the widget tree as a hierarchical map. First one we have root widget, the base widgets such as material app or Cupertino app, and then we have the child widgets. So widgets like scaffold, center, text, etc. fall under the root widget. Now let's see a visual example so that you have better understanding. So here I'm having a scaffold as home widget, okay? So the scaffold is the child of this material app. Then we have app bar and body. So this app bar is also a child of scaffold, and this center widget is also a child of this scaffold. Now inside the app bar we have title widget tree example. So now this text widget is the child of this app bar widget, and this text widget is child of this center widget. So every widget have this child parent relationship. So basically here material app is the root, followed by scaffold, and then smaller widgets like app bar, center, and text. This structure defines the layout of your app. Now let's talk about the parent-child relationships. In Flutter, widgets are either parents or children in the widget tree. Parents provide structure while children define content. Parent widget holds or organizes the child widgets, and child widgets add visual or functional elements. Let's see a visual breakdown of nested widget. So here I'm creating a scaffold widget which will have an app bar. Then it will have a title as text widget which will say nested widget. Then for body, add a column widget, then add children, and then first add a text that will say this is a column. Then after this add a row widget which will have two children. First one is text which will say row item 1. Then row item 2. Now if you save the code, then this app bar is the child of the scaffold widget, and this column is the child of scaffold widget. Then this column is having two childs. First one is the text widget, then the row widget. Now this row widget is also having two child. First one is this text widget and second one is this text widget. So the column is the parent of both text and row, and the row in turn is a parent of these two text widget. So compare this widget tree to a family tree where parent widgets have child and grandchild widgets. Now let's talk about the stateless and stateful widgets in the widget tree. So not all widgets are the same in the widget tree. Widgets are either stateless or stateful. So stateless widgets are fixed at runtime and cannot change, and stateful widgets dynamically change their state during runtime. Let's see an example of stateless widget. So here create a stateless class as my stateless widget. Then inside the build method, here return a text as stateless. Now call this class from my home page and now save the code. Then you can see here we have a simple text widget which say stateless. Now come inside this widget and here create a counter variable and assign its value as 0. Then create the increment counter method and here increment the counter value by 1. Okay, now if you watched the previous video, then you know that if we want to update the state, in that case we need to use set state. But here if you try to add set state, then this will give us error because this is a stateless widget and we cannot update its state because it's a stateless widget. So for updating a state, go to this my stateless widget and here convert this status widget to stateful widget. Now if you try to add set state inside increment counter method, then you can see we have no error. So move this increment counter value inside the set state. Now come to the body part, and from here remove everything and here add a column widget. Then for children, add a text widget which will say counter colon $counter. Then add a elevated button, and for its on pressed method, call increment counter method, and for child, add increment. Now here stateless and stateful widget behave differently within the widget tree. Stateful widget can update and change their child widget dynamically. Now if you save the code and run the application, and if you press on this elevated button, then you can see the counter value is changing at runtime. But if you remove this set state from here, like here I have done, now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see I'm pressing on this elevated button, but the counter value is not changing because this widget don't know when to upload this counter value. So for that, here we need to add set state, so please add that. Now let's build a more complex UI by deeply nesting widgets and creating a multi-tier widget tree. So here we will build a simple profile card with an avatar, name and description. So for that, remove this column widget and here add a center widget. Then for its child, here add a card widget. Okay. Now card is a widget which will help us to creating a card. Okay. Now here add a child, and for child add a column widget. Then add a children. Then here add a list style widget. So list style widget have multiple properties. First one is the leading. So leading means what to show at the starting of the list style. So here I'm adding a circle avatar which will have a background image. Okay, and I'll fetch this image from internet. So here add network image widget and here add this image. I'll provide the link in the description. Then here add title. So this title is going to be the username. So here add a text widget which will say John Doe. Then we have subtitle. So here again add a text widget which will say a Flutter developer. So the title widget will help us to create the title for the list style, and the subtitle is the description part for this list. Then add a padding widget after this list style which will have a padding of 8 from all the side. Then for child, add a text widget which will say John is an experienced Flutter developer who loves creating beautiful UIs. Here you can change the name according to yourself. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see the card is too long. Like this shouldn't be this long, and the card is looking so ugly. So let's fix this. So fixing the height problem of this card widget, come to the column widget and here add the property of this column as main axis size, and here add the main axis size as minimum. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see card is having a normal height. Now let's style this card. So for styling this card, go to the card widget and here first add an elevation property. So elevation helps into adding the shadow to this card widget. So here I'm adding elevation of 5. You can add elevation according to your design preference. Then add a shape property and here add rounded rectangle border, and here then add border radius. So this border radius will help us to make the rounded corner card. So here add border radius. Then we want the circular radius. So here add dot circular. Then add the radius. So here I want to add radius of 15. So here I'm adding the 15. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see our card is looking much beautiful than previous one. Now here you can change the color of this by adding the background color property, and you can explore the other options. By this example, here I want to tell you that this card is the parent widget. Then inside card, a column arranges a list style and padding widgets. Then list style itself is composed of smaller child widgets like circle avatar, text and etc. Now some widgets act as containers to hold multiple child widgets, while other helps define layout or spacing. Like if you watched the previous video, then I have told you about the containers. So container widgets add padding, margins and decoration. And then we have columns and rows. So these widgets arranges widgets either vertically or horizontally. Let's create a structured UI using column and row widget. So from this body remove everything and here add a column widget, then add children, then add a row widget, and this row widget is also going to have few children. So here add children. Then here first add a container widget which will have margin of 10 from all the side, and then add padding property. So this is also having padding of 10 from all the side. Then add the blue color for this container. And for child, here add a text widget which will say row item 1. Then copy this container and add it one more time. Now change the color to green, and for text add the row item 2. Then come outside of this row widget and here again paste that copied container, and here add the color as red, and then add the column item as text. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see we have two containers in row, and this one row and this one container in a column view. So here column organizes both rows and containers. Each container adds padding, margin and color. Now let's talk about few best practices for managing widget tree. So as your app grows, so will your widget tree. So there are few best practices which you can follow. Break down large trees into reusable widget. Use custom widget for repeating structure, and ensure widgets are efficient by minimizing rebuilds, especially for stateful widgets. Let's understand this by a simple example. So come to the lib directory and here create a new Dart file as custom buttons. Now come inside this file and here create a stateless widget as custom button, and this widget will have two things. First one is the label and second one is the callback, which means the onPressed functionality. So here define these two parameters. Then add these two parameters inside the constructor of it and mark these two fields as required. Now come to the build method and from here return an elevated button, and for onPressed here pass the onPressed, and for child add a text widget, then pass the label to it. Now you can use this custom button in all the places where you want to add button in your application. Like come to the main.dart file and here inside this column widget below this container, here add the custom button, and for label pass the submit, and for onPressed let it be empty. Now if you save the code and run the application, then you can see we have this custom button. Now I don't need to write this elevated button code all the time when I want to add button. I just need to call this simple custom button with these property and my button is created. So by breaking large widget trees into reusable components, you make the app more maintainable and reduce clutter. So we have covered everything from basic widget tree structures to complex layouts. Understanding the widget tree is fundamental to designing responsive and flexible UIs in Flutter. Now, take these concepts and apply them to your own projects. Practice building both simple and complex UIs to solidify your understanding of the widget tree. And subscribe to Widget Wisdom for more tutorials, tips, tricks on mastering Flutter development.